So here we are with Season 4, Episode 12 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Last episode, we saw that Micah has been alive all this year, just living on Beast Island, and Entrapta is living it up on Beast Island, it seems. She's got herself a giant beast-looking mech, so that's really, it's good for her. It's exciting to see Entrapta back, and it seems like we have a two-parter for Episode 12 and 13, so we'll just have to see what the finale of the season has in store for us. Full links are on Patreon and early access on the YouTube membership. Other than that, let us get started. I just want to let you guys know that, this is my second time restarting. I did watch the first 4 minutes, so... I guess this is, like, the first time Emily saw grass. And honestly, not, pollution.
Aren't you a prisoner? Am I a prisoner?
Look at these two shades of red.
Is this garden a prison?
It wasn't until today.
Oh, right. Sorry.
I'm trapped here with you, Scorpia.
Your Majesty, you're back. Did you find what you were looking for?
Shadow Weaver's just so excited.
We should discuss.
We should discuss? Well, she said she could do it alone last time.
We need you to reconnect to the Black Garnet.
Who are you, Light Hope?
What?
You're the only one who can save Etheria.
We should reconvene with the other princesses.
Very interesting that Shadow Weaver's the one who's just like, we should discuss with the princesses.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but Double Trouble has escaped.
How? How did that happen? Maybe if they, got sticky fingers or something, you know, since, like, the magic thing, it's, like, on the wall. It's like a wall. They could just stick themselves up to the ceiling.
Wow, I can't believe we're all here on Beast Island at the same time. What an incredible coincidence.
The fact that they managed to fit Swiftwind in there.
Beast Island log, tide cycle 37.
Tide cycle 37? How much is a cycle like a day?
I don't know you.
Yes, you do. You stole my food.
Oh, yeah! It was delicious. Wasn't there another one of you?
Yes, Glimmer. You know
Entrapta
her.
just, like,
She's-
recognized by smell.
An island full of technological monstrosities, each more deadly than the next? It's paradise!
She had, like, a blush on her.
Glad you're happy.
You know, Bo's literally under Entrapta's boots.
Scorpia told us what happened.
And she
the other
puts her
princesses
mask back
were
on.
waiting for you at Brighton.
Oh. Maybe she doesn't want to go back, you know? It is paradise after all.
A terrible secret that no one,
No one else knows.
The heart of it, sir.
Except for Entrapta. Ah, that's all you needed for her to just come right back up, huh? Well, after that, freak out last time? Oh. Oh, just little pictures.
Sorry, we didn't know you were in here.
Just people laughing, unlike her.
Calm down, Catra. It's not like Scorpia needs
Can't say anymore.
You don't get to talk to me like that. I'll be happy when the rebellion and She-Ra are gone for good. But that's never going to happen. with the
Never,
three
huh?
of you goofing off all the time.
What? They just came back!
Stay away from her.
Oh my god.
We used to be your friends. Why are you treating us like this?
Getting right in between them and everything. Standing up to Catra.
Ouch.
Oh, there's Double Trouble.
Worse
Just
than I
right back.
thought. You're a mess.
Double Trouble? You came back. I mean, where were you?
You came back, unlike everybody else.
The time to strike the final blow to the rebellion is upon us.
Oh.
The princesses aren't getting along, and
Most deliciously, Adora.
She-Ra
Adora's
is
gone.
gone.
So y'all are gonna go to Bright Moon, and then Glimmer is gonna take Scorpia over to Fright Moon.
We can't let them return to the fright zone.
A little too
Forget
late.
Double Trouble. They don't matter anymore.
Once we get the power, right?
Get her to the
Black Garnet.
Your Majesty, you're not thinking this through. You cannot go to the fright zone now. You are without allies, without your prisoner, and
Wow, the
without
fact
a
that
plan.
Shadow Weaver's the one who's like, yo, you need to fucking stop.
What would your mother say if she were here?
Oh.
You don't get to
Yeah,
talk
oh.
about my mother. Besides,
I was seeing the way she did that was very motherly.
I'm the queen who's going to save Etheria.
Uh-oh, Shadow Weaver. You may have created something you, can't control.
We can strike the final blow to the rebellion.
Wow.
This will show him what I am capable of. what we are capable of.
Oh, what we? What? Oh, it's getting even worse. The thwomps out here. So she's like the heart of Etheria, so I see her hair is all dirty and stuff. Oh, is this a crystal or?
Wow, this place is terrible. I hate it.
But first one's temple.
First one, tempo.
The first ones tried to hide their secrets by dumping them on Beast
Bird
Island.
Island.
The answers I've been looking for.
They're all here. Oh, she's got tears in her eyes. Finally.
I'll show you.
Damn, here she is showing what Light Hope was showing Glimmer.
She-Ra is the only being strong enough to withstand the destructive
Protected
energy
energy
of the heart. So the first ones made the sword to control her. She-Ra will raise the sword and fire it!
Hey yo! The planet-sized cannon!
I just won't do it. Please.
Well, what if it channels it to somebody else?
Once the
Yo,
weapon
Glimmer's
is
gotta
activated,
fucking
nothing
blow
can
up.
stop it.
Uh-oh.
When the weapon is activated, it will channel all its power into you. You
I
don't
get to refuse. It's just like Light Hope, dude. Does that mean you just have to destroy the gemstones?
Balanced yet. Look, there's still one runestone offline. We might still have a chance.
You don't think Glimmer would?
There's no way she could know that Scorpia's the final piece.
Uh-oh. You
We have to
can't.
get back to Bright Moon.
You might be a little bit too late. Oh, she's hiding. She's not going back. It's like a child hiding under all the blankets.
Horde Prime could be here at any moment. If he shows up and we're not ready to defend ourselves, everyone loses.
So, like, what happens when, like, She-Ra fires the cannon? Like, it just saps the entire planet of magic?
What if the Black Garnet doesn't want me?
It was calling for you last time, wasn't it?
I kind of get rejected a lot.
Tell me about it. Even before this, I was the weak princess, the one who had to recharge, who didn't fit.
Yeah, but they liked you like that instead of being queen.
You're gonna make a great princess.
Oh, giving her some hugs.
Sorry, that was probably too much. Oh wow, still going.
Uh-oh.
Glimmer in danger?
She might be. We have to get back as soon as we can.
Come again soon.
Oh, Entrapta.
Entrapta, no! You're coming with
This
us.
is where she got all her answers here, dude.
It's all here, so
I'm staying. Oh, she's being affected by the signal this whole time, huh?
everything back there with the princesses and then
Uh-huh.
Horde out.
Mm-hmm.
So confusing.
All here is just data, huh?
Entrapta, please fight it.
Oh, she doesn't want to use it? They say that they have the sword to control She-Ra. Madame Raz says that, like, oh, you don't need the sword, right? Oh. They just keep coming. Oh. 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 How adorable, dude. Got such a cute face and a terrible monster on the inside. God damn, dude. Y'all bones are broken after this. Look at it. So adorable.
Entrapta, no. The island is affecting you. You can't give in.
That's
No
okay.
one.
No one understands me. I tried to
Mm.
be a good friend, but I didn't understand that either.
What? Did you think
Friendship
was
was
easy? It takes work to be there for other people.
You haven't given up on me?
Well, that's why we're here. Come on now.
Entrapta, we flew here on an
Ancient first one ship.
Do you want to see it?
Should have bribed her with that one first. Alright, back in it. You think that thing will fit?
I said about friendship work for you? Or was it
Maybe both. Maybe
Oh,
both.
definitely the ship. Come on, girl. I'll be back for you.
Oh.
Promise.
Yeah, too heavy on the ship, I suppose.
Oh, you got me.
Dude, imagine Hordak had a fucking trigger finger?
No.
Bang!
Everyone is welcome in Hordak's super secret sanctum. Not since you let that princess in.
Ooh.
I thought I'd at least get a pat on the back for my daring escape.
Uh-oh.
But, of course, as you know, she wasn't there.
What did you say?
Oh.
Oh, you don't need to keep
Oh,
those
Double Trouble is
distractions.
tossing Catra out.
I did consider the alternative, that Catra's been lying to you this whole time.
Oh, you know, this truly is like a double, triple agent.
No.
Oh, shedding tears for Entrapta.
How does it work? What does this button do?
You'll figure it out. Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Take us home to Bright Moon. This is actually real?
It's not a dream.
Remember we did the pinching thing already?
Well, just to make sure.
Well, still, I couldn't let myself believe. It's all true? This horse?
Really?
talks?
He's like, still on this topic.
Too easy, as usual.
Yeah, so it was like a double agent thing. That's how Double Trouble was able to escape.
I'm really home.
Except Glimmer isn't here.
Glimmer! Glimmer, where are you?
She's gone. Micah?
Oh.
What is this traitor doing here?
Where's Glimmer? Hordak, you wanted to talk to me?
Uh-oh.
Our troops are moving out as we speak. If there's something you need, you can...
Oh, alright. So I guess, you know, Glimmer talked to Double Trouble. It's just like, hey, we got this winning weapon now. And so Double Trouble's just like, alright, you know, if you give me a piece of land or something, you know, some extra cash or whatever, I'll work for you. You know, I did mention that Double Trouble is a mercenary, so whoever has the more money and whoever is winning. Alright, so looks like we're gonna get the confrontation, and Catra is gonna either get kicked out, you know, no more with the Horde and all that, or in prison, whichever one, or she gets sent to Beast Island, whichever one. Who knows, but... You know, I'm still kind of going back to thinking about, I should be writing notes, but, okay. In case for you people who aren't here watching the, who didn't see the Patreon intro, because you're not a Patreon, you should join it if you do. I ramble a lot on those, so, and also talk about what I think about what the episode's gonna be. But I may mention that Hordak did this whole thing where, well, Catra had this whole plan, and then Hordak told her to stay back, and then that got Catra to be like, oh, I can't believe I should be happy, I should be getting all the glory, what's going on? And so I was wondering if that's what Hordak did to Catra, if Horde Prime were to come, would Horde Prime do the same thing to Hordak? Because, oh, Hordak is basically just a part of Horde Prime, so technically it's Horde Prime's glory. And so it was just kind of that, or maybe Hordak will get reinstated back to the Horde and whatnot, like the main army of the Horde. He gets his glory, but in the end, it's Entrapta that really gets him to leave Horde Prime, right? To become his own self, because that's what Entrapta has encouraged him to do. Somewhere around there. And so now that he thought that Entrapta betrayed him this whole time, but it's actually Catra who betrayed him this whole time, and Entrapta just got sent over to Beast Island, right? Yeah, it's, you know, he shed tears for Entrapta out here, so hey, you know, maybe he will be really happy when he sees Entrapta again. Anyways, I'm gonna go write some notes, and we will be right back to the center. So this was already after Glimmer came to talk to Double Trouble, right? So she set up all the plan, as she says, yes, I have a plan. And then she also says, like, the princesses are gone. So, like, I would presume the princesses are, I don't know, the princesses are, she told them to get lost or something, or just, like, go back to your place or whatever. Because, like, she's just enacting all of this plan and shit. So we see Catra looking at this picture that Scorpio drew. I guess it would be probably something Scorpio drew, considering that she's got, like, she doesn't exactly have fingers, you know? So she sees that, you know, the three best friend squad. Well, actually, that's the that's Glimmer, the super The Super Pow Trio. There you go. You know, she sees the Super Pow Trio. What could have been, huh? But then she hears, like, the laughter, right? And then it was these two coming in, these three, I mean, coming in, having a laugh, having a little guffaw out here. And I do like that after we see the I just forgot the name. I just said it. The Super Pow Trio, is that what it is? And then we see these three, right? Also a trio who seem tighter than ever. And that they're just out here having fun, having a great time. And here is Catra just out in the fucking shadow, left alone. But hey, definitely is her fault. I was gonna say it's not her fault, like I was fighting it in, saying it in Catra's perspective, but it's definitely her fault. But also not her fault at the same time. But like 25% not her fault, but like 75% her fault. Sorry, we didn't know you were in here. We'll just come back later. Yeah. And also Catra's just out here looking cool and shit. Right? But then we saw that sadness, right? The sadness in her eyes, her ears are down. She was ready to just come in, like maybe she wants to be a part of this friendship. Right? Wait, as they get their attention again. Right? She doesn't know what to say, so she defaults back to what she usually is, right? The commander and whatnot, right? What's the report? So we've got Kyle, who's just very excited about, like, this whole report thing. Because, like, Lonnie's just like, yeah, we just took over another rebel town. And then Kyle, again, all excited, doing all this. Catra even lets him talk about this whole spiel until he ends up fucking kicking the picture. Goddamn, dude. And so that gets Catra upset because, hey, you've just fucking kicked the Super Power Trio. How fucking dare you? And also specifically the part where Catra is, you sons of bitches. It's not like Scorpia needs it anymore. Just mentioning Scorpia, that gets Catra upset, and she just ends up slamming Lonnie against the locker and everything. And I love the Lonnie's just like, what's wrong with you? We're winning. Oh, we won't win until the rebel's gone and She-Ra's gone, but that ain't gonna happen. Poor Catra still hasn't really found what true happiness is. And that is, according to this show, friendship. The power of friendship, Catra. Come on now. So Catra lashes out at Lonnie because that's the only thing that she knows what to freaking do nowadays, right? It's that feeling of like, you know that you're fucking everything up, but you're just so angry that you can't control yourself and you just end up doing things that you regret later on. Yeah, so Lonnie pushes her away. They're about to fucking duke it out and all that. I guess Catra sees that she's got a closed fist. She's ready to fucking lash out, literally. And she's about to come at her with her claws. But interestingly, Kyle's the one who comes in and yells at her, like, stay away from her. Catra stops. Again, like, the fact that this group is, like, tighter than ever, and, like, Kyle, perhaps, feel just a little safer, and hopefully Lonnie and Rogelio, maybe they're still shitting on him, but, like, not, like, you know, too much, but, you know, it's not like he feels like there is some genuine bond between him and Lonnie and Rogelio. So, like, that gets him to, like, stand up to Catra, who he was afraid, and you can see that Kyle is the guy who timid. And, like, for him to go up and stand up to Catra, holy shit, dude. Excited to see Kyle in season 5. Good stuff. You know, I was thinking that if Hordak confronts Entrapta, Catra, and then, like, take her force captain status away or whatever, right? Are you just gonna give it to Lonnie? Or maybe, again, feels like it's like the last step to everything, right? They're gonna push to Bright Moon in order to take over Bright Moon and whatnot. But hey, it's a good thing that She-Ra's back and all that, you know? So, like, hopefully there's still some people to protect Bright Moon while Glimmer goes off to get Scorpia to touch the damn thing. You are without allies, without your prisoner, and without a plan. And, like, Glimmer's just like, well, I have one ally, kind of, as long as I keep giving them money, and, you know, the prisoner is now the ally, and I do sort of have a plan, so, I do wonder, did, like, Lighthope, you know, did Lighthope tell you, like, what you should do next? After you reconnect, Scorpia to the freaking Black Garnet? I do wonder that, like, did she tell you anything about that? Or like, did she just reconnect and, everything will be fine and dandy? Instead of, all the power is literally gonna channel into She-Ra. To which, like, Adora's is like, how can I stop this? Right? What am I gonna do? And Entrapta's like, you can't, Lamau. You don't have a choice. Now that I think about it, is that why Mara, there you go, that's her name. Is that why Mara, like, grabbed her sword and plunged it back into the ground? Like, did she just, like, push the power that she just fucking got into the ground? Or was that the point where it came into her? But then, like, she left the sword, right? Because the sword was supposed to be a controller for She-Ra for the first ones, for She-Ra. So towards the end, with Glimmer holding out her hand to Scorpia, right? And they end up teleporting right before Micah, Micah is able to get here and, like, figure out. It's also just the same place where, I mean, it's, like, the closest to the, to the gemstone. So I would presume this is where she's the most powerful and whatnot. I mean, Angela was kind of here too. She used this teleport. This is the same place where Angela was coming in to fly in to, hopefully stop her daughter, and then it didn't. And, that was like the last time she saw her daughter, and, the last time Glimmer saw her mom. And so I thought that, it's kind of like that, except Glimmer didn't see Micah, because, like, if she did, she'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? Is that my dad? What the hell? But this is, again, kind of a remnants where, like, Micah wants to see her, Angela wanted to see her, and then here she is, just poof, vanishing off to somewhere else. Alright, so that was Season 4, Episode 12 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. That was Part 1 of the finale. Part 2, I would presume, Scorpia touches the Black Garnet, or something. Although, I'm trying to figure out, like, if that happens, what are we gonna have for Season 5? Unless, like, Adora somehow figures out that she's just gonna fire out. Well, actually, now that I think about it, it's better if she doesn't fire it at anything, although it'd be funny if she just fires it right back into the core, I did kind of wonder if, like, is that what Mara did? But I think that was when the power was coming to her. Destroying the planet just sounds a little bit better. I was thinking about how, like, maybe Adora could just fire it out into the sky or something instead of into somebody or whatever, but then I forget that, space is endless. So, like, if she fires that shit out, it's gonna hit something one of these days, It's gotta keep traveling through space, and it's gotta hit a fucking moon, it's gotta hit a planet, and, like, and what is to say that it won't stop its momentum if it just hits a moon or whatever, it just goes straight through a planet, and it just keeps fucking going until it hits enough things to lose momentum. Or maybe, like, it'll hit a planet, and then the fucking power just, like, fucking shatters, and it goes into, like, several different directions in space. Yo. That'd be some fucking crazy shit right there, which is why I'm like, maybe destroying Etheria would be better, if she just planted the power right back into the core. Take that, planet. I'm still kind of figuring out what is Glimmer's plan after Scorpia touches it and, like, the Etheria gets balanced and all that, right? Because, like, She-Ra is the key. So, if she is the key, how is Glimmer going to steal said key? Entrapta says She-Ra is the only person who can withstand this destructive power of the heart. So, how is Glimmer gonna take this power, or is she somehow figuring, like, maybe we can channel all of this to all the other princesses or something? I don't know. Yeah, we'll just have to figure it out. But, very interesting episode. Glad to have Entrapta back on board, and interesting to see what Glimmer has in store for us. I can't remember if I talked about Double Trouble in the Patreon intro, or if I've made mentioned somewhere in one of the discussions. So, I apologize if I made this in the discussions already, but I think I didn't. I think I talked about it in the Patreon intro. And what I was talking about for Double Trouble is that I find that I don't really give a shit about their character, like, other than the feeling that they gave me in the beginning, right, which is just anxiety and paranoia. There's really nothing after that. And, when it comes to, like, double agents and stuff, because this is what Double Trouble is right now, right? They made a deal with Glimmer, and now they're getting they're mobilizing Catra. They're mobilizing Catra. They're getting Catra to mobilize the army, and then they tell Hordak about Catra's lies. So this causes an infighting, right? This is basically what they were doing at Bright Moon, but now I consider that Bright Moon's friendship and all that is a little cracked, but doing it here in the Fright Zone, holy crap, dude. It's like stealing candy from a baby, I suppose. I don't know. I guess you tell me what you think about Double Trouble, because I don't really find Double Trouble to be a very interesting character. I find that they are literally just here for plot purposes and not really a lot of substance, you know, a lot of no sustenance, you know. It's like Beast Island, always out here trying to get them sustenance. This is me. I am Beast Island, desperate to get sustenance for Double Trouble. Other than them being like now a double agent, perhaps even a triple agent later on, right? Because it's the idea that they're a mercenary and they're gonna do whatever for money and perhaps whoever is winning. And like, if you just minus that, right? The only trait that I feel that Double Trouble have is that they are an actor and that they act. Oh, they like to study characters, and like that's really it. So like I kind of hope that maybe they flesh out Double Trouble a little bit more in season 5. You know, there's still that the peak that is season 5. I don't mean like, oh, it's the peak, it's at what all of y'all have been fucking talking about, but I just mean like it's the final season. So like hopefully that there's some sustenance for Double Trouble towards the end of all that, because from what I feel, the Double Trouble is only a step above Spinnerella and Natasha. There you go. They are only a step above, and the reason is because Double Trouble actually moves the plot. And Natasha and Spinnerella are literally just there. But like, if Double Trouble didn't move the fucking plot, that's what I would feel, that Double Trouble is just there. There was this one part where Glimmer did the truth spell to Double Trouble, and it actually worked. And Double Trouble ended up telling a truth where they say that they can't emulate crying. And so when they think about crying, they think about like a child being hurt or something. But then they're just like, well, you know, it's really laughing and crying is kind of similar. So they're just like, I actually can't cry, but like I just picture about some kid get hurt and I laugh and I emulate that as crying. And when I hear that, I'm just like, that's a very specific truth you've got there. I was like, let's not linger on that. But you know, if you catch what I'm talking about there, if not, don't ask me to explain. Thank you. All right, actually, I can't keep it in anymore, so I'm just gonna say it. This is just a very big assumption, so you know, don't put me on a stake or anything, but just the way that it feels like that, and then the way that Double Trouble was just like, oh, war is fun, it should be fun, or whatever. It kind of made me think, does Double Trouble kind of have antisocial personality disorder? Or something a little bit more severe? So Glimmer is on this plan. Again, she already made a deal with Double Trouble. She's gonna do it by herself, essentially, and she's leaving Shadow Weaver out of all of this, and Shadow Weaver is just trying to like, hey, we should like, you know, talk with the princesses and stuff, you know, come up with a plan. And I find it very funny that Shadow Weaver here in this point is like the reasonable one. I wrote my notes that says Shadow Weaver made another monster, it seems. And it seems like this one might be just a little bit worse, but who knows? You know, we haven't figured it out just yet. But here she is getting shut out of Glimmer's plan. And we can see this point where, you know, she's just like, have I not only tried to help you? You know, you're only thinking about your emotions and stuff. You know, this plan is too risky. And then she does this where she cups her hand on Glimmer's cheeks. And I was just like, wow, you know, that is very motherly. It's like that whole feeling again where Shadow Weaver gets attached to the kids that she manipulates. In this weird way, like, I kind of get it, and it will go back, it will go to this other scene that I'm gonna be talking about. But unfortunately for Shadow Weaver, she mentions Angela, right? She mentions Glimmer's mom, and that's a touchy subject for Glimmer. And perhaps just maybe it could have worked, even if a little, on Glimmer. But Shadow Weaver just had to toss in the mom card, and that was the wrong card to play, unfortunately. So that gets Glimmer to be like, hey, you don't get to fucking talk to my mother about that. You were literally a part of the Horde who took my dad away from me. So like, fuck you. So unfortunate for Shadow Weaver, played the wrong card. So on to this scene where Glimmer convinces Scorpia to become a princess again, right? Connect to the Black Garnet and whatever. And she basically kind of does what Shadow Weaver does. And it's this thing where Shadow Weaver, again, manipulates the kids, but she somehow gets attached to them. So there's that feeling of genuinity, or that feeling of love and care or whatever. It's how Shadow Weaver got to Catra when she convinces Catra to give her her badge that has the little magic powder thing, right? That allows her to escape. She did that immediately right on Catra. And it's like, even though there's like a crumb of truth in it, for the most part, Shadow Weaver was using that to manipulate Catra. And here is Glimmer using that exact tactic, where she basically, maybe not particularly lie, but she is omitting some truth. Alright, she knows that, well actually no, wasn't Scorpia there during the princess meeting where they were arguing about the planet? Oh, actually, Scorpia doesn't know that, like, they need to balance it. But Scorpia does, I would presume Scorpia was there for the meeting, or at least half of the meeting, where they were just fucking arguing with each other about whether they should use the Heart of Etheria or not. I don't know how long she's been in there. But Glimmer admits the whole Heart of Etheria stuff, right? She just says, I need you to save Etheria, alright? I want to save Etheria. I want to save everyone. And in order to do this, you are the key, Scorpia. You are the sole reason on saving Etheria, right? And so I wrote in my notes, manipulation with a touch of genuinity, where Glimmer taps into her feelings, right? And how Scorpia talks about, oh, I get rejected a lot. And Glimmer's just like, yeah, I know, I got rejected too. My best friends left me. And I wonder why they fucking left you, Glimmer. She taps into that emotion and she connects with Scorpia. And again, that just gets her to go into the whole save everyone. Save everyone. Save Etheria, save everyone. And you know, how can you save everyone? Just fucking blow the planet up and there will be nothing to save. Let's see Horde Prime take over Etheria when it's nothing but a pile of dust. So yeah, if we were to take this scene out of like context, you know, it might seem like a nice scene, you know, of just a princess talking to another soon-to-be princess, convincing her that you should become a princess, and you are She-Ra in this case. You will save Etheria and whatnot. So yeah, taking that out of context, it's like, I guess it could be a nice scene, you know, of a girl getting her confidence and wanting to become princess again. But in context, out of everything, and knowing what Glimmer plans on doing, I like this scene. I like this scene. Again, it's manipulation, but with a touch of genuinity. And that's just really how you get to people. Alright? Don't follow my advice, but one of the best ways to lie is to always put some sort of truth into it, because when you have truth, it's easier to say the lie for the most part, and it's easier to remember the truth better than to remember the lies. And if you're able to weave those two together, it might be a little bit easier for you to remember it. This is not advice, please do not do that, but that is, again, that is like literally how a good lie would work. Or at the very least, a lie with a touch of like your true emotions, you know, like when I'm thinking about Catra, right? When she was like, her wires are frizzled towards the end of season 3, and she told Hordak, oh, Entrapta was the one who let the princesses in. She's the fucking traitor this whole time. And it was Catra kind of channeling her anger towards everybody, and also specifically towards Adora. Alright, and that's why she's able to do that manipulation on Hordak. So Entrapta, being on Beast Island, as she says, is paradise for her, and she just has this treasure trove of information, despite it being, a little corrupted. But she's able to figure out the Heart of Etheria project, because, I mean, literally, I think it was Adora who said, a First One temple, and, like, they were trying to hide this by dumping a bunch of, like, tech stuff over here, but then it's gotten corrupted, and, like, now it's kind of alive, and it's like, it's as a signal and all that. We have Entrapta yet again, right, telling us, basically, the plot, giving us the explanation, even though we kind of already saw it from Light Hope, but, it's always good to have Entrapta explain it to us yet again. And Entrapta says it in such a jovial way, where she's just like, yeah, once the planet is balanced, no one can stop it, not even the first one. That's why they left the planet. You don't get to have a choice. Like, damn, Entrapta. Adora is just over here yet again, right? That feeling of, oh my god, I have no choice in this. This is something that she's been battling through this whole time. And so, just hearing another person being like, yeah, you don't get a choice. You will literally have all the power channeled through you. And you're gonna fire it out. Maybe, when her power goes through her, all the princesses will come, and then they'll all hold hands, and then the power of friendship will subside the power of the Heart of Etheria. Yeah, and I say that jokingly, but also, like, I don't know, it could possibly work in terms of, like, her channeling the power to the other princesses, but hopefully not too much where they just implode, because the power is just too powerful. Now I'm just going back to thinking about, what is Glimmer gonna do if she somehow attains all the power? I wonder if she did talk about that with Light Hope, but we just haven't seen it yet, right? So it could have been, it's just like how she made a deal with Double Trouble off screen. Maybe she did talk about that with Light Hope off screen, and Light Hope did say, oh, Adora has been compromised and whatever, so maybe they can't use her. Or maybe Light Hope will just hit her AI stuff into Adora's sword. Adora looks at her bracelet as Entrapta talks about how, the first ones made the sword to control her, to use her. And she's just like, oh my god, this thing is here to control me this whole time? Which is what Madame Razz would say, like, oh, you don't need the sword. You're fucking She-Ra. You can literally just channel this through the tips of your fingers. Alright, like, She-Ra has been here longer than this sword has been created. And, like, the first ones are just trying to militarize or weaponize She-Ra. And she hesitates for a moment because she knows that this sword is made to control her. But she has to do it anyways, right? She needs this power. So, she begrudgingly has to go and say, for the honor of Grayskull, and transform into She-Ra. And so I wonder if in season 5, Adora will perhaps, in a moment of desperation, learn how to turn into She-Ra without the sword. But then again, I feel like She-Ra, is She-Ra more iconic with the sword, or is that without the sword? I don't know the She-Ra series. It does make me wonder if, like, that's what Adora will learn in season 5, where she discards the sword, or somehow make the sword hers, and, like, it only listens to her, or something. Whichever one, but again, Madame Razz says you don't need the sword, so, but she didn't say that to Adora, she said that to Tamara, right? For Adora, when she loses her sword, she becomes powerless, essentially, and so if she's able to tap within her She-Ra power without the sword, because, like, she is very dependent on the sword right now, unfortunately, and now she knows that this is the thing that will control her. But, God, before I got distracted, I was talking about Glimmer, and I was just like, if Glimmer somehow channels this power, right? I'm just over here like, what if we just got, like, a Super Saiyan version of Glimmer or something? Or it will continue to channel to Adora, but Adora doesn't need the sword, so she can't be controlled, so then she becomes the Super Saiyan. I mean, she already turns blonde when she becomes She-Ra, so like, moving away from that, we have Entrapta, who succumbs to the signal because, friendship is no good, you know? Why should I leave this island and go back to a place filled with emotions that I just don't understand? It's so confusing. Over here, we've got datas, we've got numbers, I can just crunch all of these together, and I understand it so much better. You know, I get this so much better than this tangible emotion thing, you know? Ew, gross. So, I presume Beast Island, right, feeds on these negative energy, and so perhaps it couldn't affect Entrapta this whole time because Entrapta was just so happy about going through here, right? Paradise, going and exploring this island, gathering data and information, but now that her friends are here, right? That gets her to think back on all of that had happened, right? With Hordak and everything as well. All that has happened. Too confusing. Better to stay here instead. And Beast Island's just like, yes, we finally got her. She's been here for too long and we finally got her sustenance. So we've got Bo trying to help Entrapta out, telling her, you know, the power of friendship and all that. As Entrapta says, right? You don't understand me. That's okay. No one understands me. The only thing I need is my bots, and that's it. I really enjoy Entrapta's character, and I know that people have made mention about Entrapta being on the spectrum, which is very clear and obvious with the way that she talks, and especially with what she was talking about here, right? With like the whole friendship stuff. Overall, I just really enjoy Entrapta's character, but here for Bo, he goes and well, she says, I tried to be a good friend. I didn't understand that either. And Bo's just over here, you know, Bo has been trying this whole time. So he's just like, what? You think friendship is easy? I've been struggling through this whole fucking thing this whole season. I oughta give you a slap for that. It takes work to be there for other people. It takes everything you've got. And, you know, I kind of, I don't particularly agree too much about that for Bo, simply because friendship is a two-way road, right? You can't put everything you've got into that one person if they're not willing to do the same for you. So it's kind of like wasted effort if you put everything for them and then they're just like, I do kind of feel that way, and that's what I mean, for their friendship, right? For Bo, Adora, and Glimmer's friendship, is that the biggest crack is Adora and Glimmer, right? And the both of them are unable to meet with each other halfway. And because this problem stems from Adora and Glimmer, Bo can't exactly meet both of them because like they both are refusing to meet each other halfway. So Bo's at an intersection and both cars are refusing to move. And so because both cars are refusing to move, Bo also can't fucking move in the intersection. That's kind of how I think about it in terms of like road logic or some shit. So Entrapta says, everyone leaves me behind. Why should it be any different now? And Bo says, we never gave up on you, even when you were with the Horde. Because that's what friends do. You haven't given up on me. Right? And that kind of gets her consciousness a little bit back, it seems like. Right? That gets her like... Right, her eyes are fuller now that we've hit her with the first part of the friendship, right? Because friend, all right, we've hit the friend part, and so here's Adora hitting Entrapta with the last part of this, right? Entrapta, we flew here on an Ancient One's first ship. You wanna see it or not, huh? And so Entrapta's just like, oh, you have a first one spacecraft? Hell yeah, I wanna fucking go on it. Yo. Look at Bo and Adora double teaming out here, dude. They hit her with the friend and then they hit her with the ship. Friendship. Bo's just over here like, did anything I said about friendship work for you? Or was it all the ship? And I think that it's both, you know, the friend and the ship. Well, the way that Entrapta says, right? Definitely the ship, but thank you. I'm glad we're friends. Right? Even though Entrapta says, oh, definitely the ship, I feel like it was Bo's saying of like, we haven't given up on you because you're our friends. We're friends, but whatever. you know, that gets Entrapta to be like, oh, you know, her consciousness slowly comes back just a little bit. And then Adora deals the final blow. We got a ship, Entrapta. Ooh. You just love that Shadow Weaver's just sitting at the throne. All sad and shit. Oh, glad that my queen has left me. I guess I'll just sit on her throne. Shadow Weaver just over here, huh? Sees Micah, you know, is it really you? And Micah still injured, right? So he can't exactly deal a bigger blow, but he does that. He gets, you know, he hurts himself. And Shadow Weaver's just like, get that shit out of here. Anyways, Micah, wow, is that really you? When will Shadow Weaver learn that her methods of manipulating kids for her own gain is just gonna result in, well, I mean, Micah, that didn't particularly work with Micah simply because he left, I don't know, he learned the truth about Shadow Weaver early on as a kid, right? And so, like, the manipulation didn't really latch on as much, and that's why he's over here like, oh, what's this traitor doing here and all that. And then for Adora, you know, she ended up spending more time with Bright Moon and everybody else, and, you know, she learns the power of friendship and all that, and she was able to somewhat stand up to Shadow Weaver. There's that, and so, like, she's able to know that Shadow Weaver is lying about this, even if she ends up getting manipulated just a little bit from time to time. Catra is, like, the worst of it all, because unfortunately for Catra, she doesn't have a good group of people to lend a shoulder on other than Scorpia, but again, I feel like when Catra opens up the Scorpia, she gets into more trouble. But, you know, she doesn't really have a good group of people who can help her. So that, unfortunately, is really bad for Catra's mindset. So ultimately, right, Shadow Weaver ended up making a monster. And then here she is, doing the exact same thing again for Glimmer. Because 4th time's the charm, I suppose. And as I said, I wrote in my notes, it feels like she's made another monster. Or one that will get power at any cost. She is following your words, because, like, I feel like that's what Shadow Weaver wants. She is willing to get power at any cost, and we saw that in her flashback when she was Light Spinner still, right? She fucked with the darkness, and this was the result, right? She's got a fucked up face, and she has to wear a mask for the rest of her life. Really feels like a lot of all of this trouble, honestly, stems from Shadow Weaver. Hey, good on you, Shadow Weaver. This is my favorite part still, is that I'm just like, yeah, you know, I feel like Shadow Weaver kind of like caused a good portion of all this. I still like Shadow Weaver. Good on her, you know, she keep doing her shit. But when will she learn, huh? She'll never learn. But if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys. Well, actually, I don't say that anymore. Bye. See you later.